War never changes. People have the unyielding urge to fight each other and will always make up reasons to do so. One of the most dominating and captivating issues of ideology of this past century has been the socio-economic conflict between the ideals of capitalism and communism. But to determine the importance of this war, we must go back to its beginnings.
Alas, them British were dead. I finally gained my freedom from their oppressive regime so I can become an independent state and decide my own fate for me and my peoples.
And with that, the birth of a nation. But what of their competition from across the sea?
At last, the Tsar is finally dead. I finally gained my freedom from their oppressive regime, and so now I can become an independent state to decide the fate for my sake and my people.
This is pretty strange. I don't like this feller.
Despite both countries being born out of revolution, there'd be an automatic distrust between the two. And while the Second War provided a brief respite, it couldn't last forever. As the fighting slowed and eventually stopped, tensions began to rise once more.
We're there.
We did a wonderful job.
Well, yes, we did. We should do it again next time.
All right. I don't like this guy. He's stupid.
I don't trust that feller. He's got red blood.
And just like that, all semblance of a semi-positive relationship vanished. While international politics would suggest that the USA and the USSR were on perfectly fine terms, that couldn't be further from the truth. When you went into these countries, the rise of one Senator Joseph R. McCarthy and the subsequent Red Scare brought about a wave of anti-communist sentiment and suspicion, specifically directed in the Americas.
He's a communist! He's a communist!
Wait. How is he a communist?
He's wearing a red shirt!
He put this on me! Okay. Well, how is he a communist?
He likes social reforms!
I don't like racism. That's different.
Sounds like a comedy man. Kill him.
Die, commie! Die!
Now, of course, the Soviets weren't safe from this witch hunt mentality either. As anyone labeled an enemy of the state for whatever reason was treated just as poorly, particularly the Jews, because, well, guess they hadn't been genocided enough already. And as we all know, Soviets are inclined to that kind of thing.
An assassin! An assassin!
How is he an assassin?
He's wearing a doctor's coat.
This is not even a doctor's coat.
Well, I heard he's Jewish. That's got to mean something.
No, it just means I'm Jewish.
That's fair enough. Go ahead.
Die,
Look at the duck there!
Die!
And so tensions rise in both countries. And eventually, the only logical place to aim this hatred? At each other. Given the international aggression between these two nations, it was only a matter of time before they became aggressive rather than passive-aggressive at one another. Now let's see what that looks like on a scale that you might realize.
Hey, why is there a wall there?
Mind your own business, you silly American dog.
What? How am I supposed to get food and resources for my people?
Well, it's not my problem now, is it? Go away before I taunt you a second time.
Wow, that's really evil, ain't it?
Well, so was you and your friends talking about me behind my back about the capitalist German state. That's really evil.
You know what? You're stupid. And for that, I'm gonna invade Vietnam regardless of it messing with my anti-colonial origins.
Well, yeah, well, I'm going to invade Afghanistan despite it conflicting with my anti-expansionary origins.
Why are you? I'm gonna send something to space.
I'm gonna send more things to space.
I'm gonna put a man on the moon.
What? You can't do that.
Oh yeah? Watch me. L ratio. Touch grass.
No, it's not
plus
true. It's
cosmonauts.
not true. You cannot
no
do
more.
that. You literally
If the
cannot
man
do that.
goes
I
bad,
said don't to space.
dominate
I
me.
said don't to
As
space.
you can see, this distrust continued to escalate.
Shut up!
Hate it here. As I was saying, as you can see, the tensions continued to escalate. This became an outright Cold War, continuing this ideological conflict to the point where the entire world, from the savannas of Angola to the coasts of Cuba, not that that's a specifically large distance, but you get what I mean. And because two countries decided that they didn't like one another based on reasons of mere sentimental difference. The Soviet Union is dead, and attempts to reconcile with the new Russian Federation have been plentiful, but not necessarily successful.
Hey, what do you say we put all this behind us?
I would say so. It is about time we did that.
Put her there, honey.
Yes, of course, of course. Let's do better together. Yeah, better watch your back, idiot.
The only thing I'm putting behind me is that I'm gonna show them how to be no more and the nuclear power of my mind.
As we can see, this hyperfixation of ideological warfare has done worlds of hurt for both countries and everyone that's been involved. But it will continue to cause problems for this bruised and battered world as war never changes, because people never do. But you know what is constantly changing? The champion shop is in Raid Shadow Legends. That's right, Raid Shadow Legends, a free-to-play mobile RPG game that lets you control tons of amazing characters as they battle their way through endless dungeons and against other players. If you sign up right now with the code JACOBVW, that's right, JACOBVW, you will get 55 gold, 2,500 coins, and the champion Azrak the Lich King for totally free now. Thank you for watching, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. It really does help us out a lot, and we appreciate your patronage here at the Jacob Vander Weide YouTube channel. Thank you. That's not true, because we have Jesus, but that's what Tyler wrote in the script.
This time, it's gonna be the same thing.
I enjoy capitalism.